sorry about the beep. That was a timer I have going because I'm timing myself on this. Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel. Or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. If you didn't already, I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes. And today in this video, I'm going to tell you guys a very funny memory I had with a friend of mine and our kindergarten buddy. So this is a video about how we were trying to teach my kindergarten buddy how to play this board game, and my friend found a card with a spider on it. Excuse me, not an opera card, my bad, I meant to say card. And at that time I was kind of scared of spiders, but he was just joking around with me, and he was like showing me the card, and he claimed that he was making me do opera, and we thought it was kind of funny. And so this is one of those funny memories I like to share with you guys, and it's one of my favorite memories that I've had in the 4th grade with one of my friends and a kindergarten buddy we had to share together. So I'm gonna get started, and I hope you guys get some laughs out of this story. So this all started, excuse me. So this all started about 19 years ago. I was in the 4th grade, and I didn't have a kindergarten buddy because my buddy moved. Because my buddy I had moved. And so I was trying to figure out who I could share my buddy with. I mean, who could share their buddy with me? Excuse me, wrong wording. And so my teacher, when our kindergarten buddies came in, we were going to get ready to play board games and teach them how to play board games that my teacher had. So my friend offered to share his kindergarten buddy with me, and I was pretty excited because I love because I love little kids, and I was excited because he had offered to share his kindergarten buddy with me, and I was left out because I didn't have a buddy, and he offered since nobody else would share their kindergarten buddy with me. So we were getting ready to do like board games that my teacher had. So she had a bunch of board games that were for kindergarten, that were for 4th graders, but also for kindergartners. And so my friend pulled out this maze game. I don't remember what it was called. It was some kind of maze game that my teacher had, and it had different cards on it, cards that came with it, and you're supposed to move like rocks or something around. I don't remember. Would you excuse me one second? Sorry, I was doing some writing down and taking notes. But anyway, so it had like different insects on it, different like stuff on the cards. It was like a maze game, and you had to kind of find your way out of the maze game. And so my friend picks up this card that has a spider on it. And back then I was terrified of spiders. I wasn't terrified of spiders on cards or pictures of spiders. I was more terrified of real life spiders. And so my friend found this card that had a spider on it, and he showed it to me, and I was like, ah, and then anytime he put it in front of my face, I would go, ah, and it was kind of funny, and my friend was cracking up, and he found it hilarious, and I actually thought it was pretty funny too, and he called it, I'm making Mena do opera, and so he tells this to my teacher, and he starts to like explaining how he's making me do opera, and we found it super funny, and we all start laughing, and it's super funny. My teacher actually starts laughing a little bit too, because she thinks it's kind of funny that he's making me do opera, and we're just like kidding around. So we kind of do it for a little bit, and our kindergarten buddy starts laughing, and so, excuse me. I'm sorry I'm stopping the camera so much. I have my piece of paper and my whiteboard over here so I can keep track of how many rows I'm doing per hour because I'm doing some time management for this. So that's why I'm pausing the video so you guys don't see my back turning against the camera, because that would be super rude and I hate turning my back against the camera. But anyway, so my friend walks over to my teacher, explains what I'm doing, and I'm doing opera, and he starts singing opera, and we're both cracking up because we found it hilarious. My teacher smiles because she finds it pretty funny too, and my kindergarten buddy laughs a bit. And then finally we kind of have to stop for a bit because it's getting a little too much and it's kind of getting a little loud, and I feel bad that I'm being a little loud in the classroom. So then we just once we're done playing around with the opera game, we start to kind of focus on the actual game, teaching our kindergarten buddy how to play it, and then we focus on what we're supposed to doing, and then give our kindergarten buddy instructions, and then he's having so much fun with the game, and we just keep like giving him instructions and playing the game, and we're just having a really good time playing that maze game. And after we were done like goofing around with the whole opera thing, we just decided to focus on what we were supposed to be doing. So the moral of the story is sometimes funny things happen. Excuse me. Sorry, let me rewind that for a sec. That wasn't a correct moral. So the moral of the story is it's good to goof around and round every once in a while, especially if you're having fun doing something, but it's also kind of good to focus on what you're doing, and it's just always good to have a little fun, especially when you're teaching somebody how to play a game and you're being funny, but sometimes it's also good to focus on what you're doing. So I was glad my friend and I were able to focus on what we were supposed to be doing, especially even though we were having fun with our kindergarten buddy and we were making him laugh with our opera, but we also remembered we were supposed to teach him how to play the actual game. So once we we're done with the opera game, we decided to focus on what we were doing. So that's the moral, is sometimes it's good to have fun, especially when you're teaching someone like a little kindergartner how to play a game, because it gets them engaged, it gets them entertained, and it's just a really fun way to get the kindergartner to have a good time while learning. But even though you're goofing around while teaching the kindergartner, it's kind of good to stay more focused on what you're actually teaching the kindergartner rather than goof around the whole time and play games like pretending you're doing opera. So it was good that my friend and I were able to still focus on what we were doing, despite the fact we added a little comedy in there for the kindergartner and we were just laughing. And it was pretty fun, but we still had to focus on what we were doing, and I was glad we focused pretty much the whole time on what we were doing, which was a good thing. So that was my funny opera story. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!